Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. Wanted to talk about Iron Maiden, their new drummer, Simon Dawson. Simon took over for longtime drummer Nico McBrain for this most recent tour. In fact, Nico announced his retirement on December 7th of 2024. Just really physically could not do the job anymore. You know, when you have a band that's been around for a long time, usually it's the lead singer that burns out his voice, or it's the drummer who can't physically do it anymore up to, the time signatures and the speed and the power of their original form. They just break down physically. It's tough to do. But Bruce Dickinson says right away we knew, and he was pleasantly shocked that this was going to work out. So they're doing the tour last year, and Steve Harris, bass player of Maiden, has another group that he called British Lion that he was also touring with simultaneously on off days. British Lion would do some dates, and Simon Dawson is the drummer in British Lion. He was also accompanying the band on tour because they were worried about Nico breaking down on tour. They needed an emergency guy. He could maybe do it. So here's what Bruce says. He said that they hadn't even had a rehearsal yet with Simon Dawson. But he was on tour as an insurance policy. We were hoping that Nick, longtime drummer, was going to make the tour. But there were times during the show, not so much the drumming, but his physical body, and we were worried. We were like, we do not want to end up with Nico in the hospital, and we do need to have a backup. And Simon was suggested by Steve Harris. And we all went, yeah, but how do we know it's going to work? So we said to Nick, look, in the middle of the tour, we have a couple of days in Portland, Oregon, and we're going to rent a rehearsal space, and we're going to give Simon a go just to see if it works, just in case. So we did, and a couple of us were like, I don't know how this is going to be, but yeah, and honestly, I was pleasantly shocked. I was like, wow, we went through the whole set without a break. This guy had not rehearsed with anybody. He just turned up with Maiden. We went through the entire set of the tour, and that we were on time, and it was all there. I thought, my God, we could do a show tonight if we had to. It was unreal. As rock fans, our legendary bands, we want to keep them intact. Maiden hadn't had a lineup change in a long time, really since Adrian Smith and Bruce rejoined for the Brave New World album. It's been an intact lineup really since Nico joined, right? Was that for peace of mind? So we want this to happen. Nobody wants these guys to have to retire, but you do want the drums to be there. It's a huge part. If the drums aren't keeping the time, or they're not powerful enough, or they're just not hitting the mark, everything suffers from there. There's no hiding from that. There's no hiding in the live. They said there was lots of guys they could have hired. They could have hired Nico clones, but they wanted this guy because they get along with him. And he is going to be doing a European tour this summer, touring all over the world this summer, coming to the United States in 2026. Again, I'm excited about seeing him. I'm excited for the band that they get to keep moving on with their band, and they have a new guy, Simon Dawson. Check out my channel. We talk about great music every day here. Peace out. See you.